looking at it from the anatomy, as far as the anatomy is concerned, the diaphragm separates the heart and the lungs from the abdominal areas, the intestines, and the stomach. And so the stomach sits over here on the left side, right underneath the rib cage, and then the small intestine hooks underneath that stomach, and it goes round and round and comes over here to the right side, where the small intestine connects into the large intestine. But the end of the small intestine is called the ileum, and the large intestine is called the cecum. And there's a cone-shaped muscle. It's a valve. It's a smooth muscle valve that opens up and dumps from the small intestine into the large intestine. So what we want to do is then have this valve close, and then let it come up the ascending colon and transfers, goes across the transverse colon, and it empties out on the left side through the descending colon. So what we have to do, colic was not a 3 hours of unconsolable crying. Crying was only one symptom of this. And so the definition of colic was 3 hours of unconsolable crying, starts at 3 weeks and ends at 3 months, and it never was true. The babies actually are born with this, and it isn't 3 hours of unconsolable crying, and it doesn't end up in 3 months. So what happens, and that's the reason we redefined colic. We said colic is a leakage to this ileocecal valve, and it dumps from the small intestine into the large intestine, and then what it's supposed to do is close. And if it closes, then it's not going to leak anything back into it. But colic is when that leaks back through that valve into the small intestine again, it tries to redigest that, and that's where you get all this bloating and pain. And so this abdominal area is on all these colicky babies are usually quite large, and it's that way in the beginning phases. After it gets past about 3 months, the belly is a lot softer. So we're expecting that to always stay that way, but it don't. It changes. So as they get older, then it gets confusing as to how come the belly isn't so big.